In the shop today, we've got my dad's old Jeep. I got this a few years ago after he died. This Jeep was his baby, and as silly as it sounds, this was his garage queen. He found a product called Griot's Garage, and he was their #1 customer for this and a 95 Camry. This is a very low mileage Jeep. It had 60,000 miles when I took ownership. It's sitting at 88, 89 now, something like that. This is our daily for running him to school every morning, because we can't count on the buses. So this is his school bus. It's got a few issues. So the suspension is absolutely shot and has been shot for years. Let me see. The front axle U-joints are completely shot. The drive shaft U-joint is now shot. This thing has just been like the back burner vehicle, but it's in today and it's getting an axle shaft upgrade. What we've got here is we've got some Revolution axle shafts. This is the entire axle kit. This is not the 30 spline upgrade. This is the 27 spline. When I was looking around, there's a certain type of metal that all the axle shafts are made of. Off-roaders say don't use them. Granted, this Jeep is not going to be a hard off-road vehicle because it was my dad's. It's sentimental. Whenever I do take this thing on trails, it's going to be baby trails. I mean, it's going to be like gravel roads and dirt roads. But nothing to bend sheet metal. These are just a good upgrade for the rust issues. I'd rather upgrade. So why not upgrade to some really good shafts? All right, we were just opening this box and we weren't going to show this on camera, but seeing how well this is packed, this is pretty amazing. Because I noticed, wow. I mean, look at that. I noticed the box came in perfect shape. That's such a cute axle shaft. So adorable.
Now some big.
No, these are only 27 splines. None of them are big.
And the box.
U-joints. So these are the U-joints. That's the upgraded U-joints. It's the 5760X. I've actually got these sitting in my shop. I was going to do this anyway. Yeah, that's it. Now I just got to assemble all this. They are pretty. This is what was in the box. This is what was taped on. So I see why they taped these on, because instead of these little 3/4 rings, there's actual full-length snap rings. So I feel much more comfortable about these than I do these. I was fighting these U-joints going in. I decided to pop it out, and this is what I found. So that's why I was fighting it. That's why they wouldn't go in. So now I've just got to individually set each and every one of these back up. So it'll be a while. That's good. So luckily I had another U-joint because I wound up breaking one of those roller bearings. So I just pulled the cap off my spare, threw it in there. It's the same splicer, same part number and everything. When you're doing U-joints, don't do what I do. If it doesn't go in, don't keep forcing it. Pull it out. And I tried to do both caps at once. They didn't line up, and that's where my problem was. So from then on, I just did a single cap at once. And you saw the NICs on there. I don't know if it works. My thought is, I know it's a press fit, but maybe if I can get a little bit in there, it'll work. But now that both axle shafts are assembled, I've got the Jeep lifted. I'm gonna start ripping stuff off and just start ripping the old out, shoving the new in, and this part should go quick. This Jeep has 80-something thousand miles on it. My truck has 260. The initial ripping apart was easier than this, and it's all bigger. Let's see if we can't pop this all apart. Wow. Looks like I'll be doing wheel bearings while I'm in here. That should have come with that. It's a sealed unit. I literally When I said let's see if we can rip this all apart, I didn't mean actually rip it apart. In true Rooster's Garage fashion, local parts stores don't have it. Ordered it from Rock Auto. It'll be here Wednesday. Yep. That's how things go around here. I'm going to soak this with some Croil, beat on it. I forget that this was a Northern vehicle. The other thing about this front axle's been replaced because I've totaled the Jeep shortly after I got it. A guy in a Mustang pulled right out in front of me. There was a semi oncoming. I couldn't go anywhere. So I wound up hitting him with the front right wheel of the Jeep, and it snapped the front axle. So this is a replacement axle that had 90,000 on it. So now it's 110,000 on this axle. So it's not Dad's. It was somebody else's. I don't know whose. But anyway, I'm going to start ripping this apart. I'll rip the other side apart so that I can get access to it and get some Croil on it and make sure everything's good. I also bought 6 new mounting bolts for these wheel hubs. So that should be a whole lot better because these are rusted so bad. I don't know where this axle came from, but it was a Northern axle too, I'm pretty sure. So, anyway, so I've already got everything loose except for the axle nut. But all my 3 nuts here are loose. And I just want to, I've got it soaked in Croil. I don't think it's going anywhere, but I'm going to bang on it a little bit. Look at the rust. I do see a tad bit of separation over here. Just the slightest bit. Alright, we'll let that Croil continue to work. My wife is at a Women of Joy conference with a bunch of ladies from our church. All of a sudden, I started getting all these texts. Matt, thank you for lunch. Thank you for lunch. That was so sweet. That was so sweet of you thinking of me. I didn't know anything about it. I text my wife before I started responding. My wife a lot of times will do things on my behalf and tell people that I did it and then fill me in later. So I naturally assumed this was one of those. The thing that really threw me off was them saying, that was so sweet of you thinking of me. And I'm like, oh crap, was there some personalized thing? I don't know. I don't know anything about it. My wife heads up all the women heading over to Women of Joy for our church. And when she does it, she does a fantastic job. Every woman gets a personalized thing. They all are made to feel super special. So I assumed with all the work that she puts into it, that maybe there was some lunch gift basket thing. I don't just want to say, oh, you're welcome. I want to say, oh, you're welcome. I'm, so happy you liked it. I want to make sure that my response is what it should be. So I'm texting my wife going, hey, what is going on? Because all these women are texting me. And there was, I think, like 12 women that texted me, all saying thank you for lunch. And so I'm texting my wife going, what did I do? My wife just sends back like hashtag trophy husband and, hashtag so thankful and just stuff like that. So after dealing with this, I was just sitting upstairs, just kind of decompressing from all of this because I'm frustrated at how such a simple job winds up into this mess. And then I start getting this, and then my wife won't send me like anything helpful. So I sent her a message and I'm like, I want just plain English, not woman English. Still nothing. Then she finally calls me, but it's not her. It's one of the women from our church that went to Women of Joy with Patty. And she was like, oh, Matt, thank you for lunch, yada, yada. And I was like, I don't even know. Like, I've got to throw my cards out. I don't even know what you're talking about right now. Basically, I found out they were pranking me. They wanted to cause confusion. They did. They got me good. all of them just thought that would be a funny idea to prank me. They're all having a good time there. They're all loving it. They'll be back tomorrow evening, I think, something like that. I don't know. I'm real bad when it comes to scheduling and calendars and stuff. So anyway, I work on stuff and I play with boats. That's what I do. So I finally got all my parts. This knuckle made me enter the world of roll-lock. So I've got me a little fake roll-lock wheel here. So hopefully that will stop the major rust. I'll spray some Croil or something on it, some oil, just so it doesn't rust immediately. I'll knock both of these out. I've got my new wheel bearings, and these are a whole lot smaller than what I'm used to on the truck. Everything on the Jeep is like baby stuff in comparison on my truck. It's funny because back when I had my Subaru, I thought everything was big on the Jeep. And then now that I've had the truck, I work on the Jeep and everything just seems tiny. I'm going to get this knocked out. No reason to show that. The only thing I don't have is new bolts for these hubs. They're coming in tomorrow, but I want to go ahead and get all this stuff done that I can. And then that way tomorrow, all I got to do is put 3 bolts on and then basically the wheels. So I should have everything else knocked out. So let me get to this. Oh, and I broke my tripod. So that's no fun. That roll-lock made super quick work of this. Like I said, I've never used the one, so this was a new experience. That looks absolutely brand new. I guess I'll throw some grease on it. I wasn't expecting fresh metal. I was just expecting less rust. I'll show you what I used. This die grinder is a Chief. I don't remember if I got it from Amazon or Harbor Freight, but I don't remember Harbor Freight selling Chief, so I'm thinking that it's an Amazon purchase. Amazon for the holder, and then Amazon for this little blue roll-lock. I literally just used the side of it. So just stuck it in and just went around. That's it. Here's the difference in the new axles. They're built pretty much the same. So I was expecting some serious necking down here. There's not much. This has about the same, and then instead of the slow taper, it's a hard shoulder. This over here is a taper, same as the original. These are just a different metal. I've got my new hubs on. Like I said, I don't have any bolts. The old bolts, the socket barely fit on. I mean, it fit on maybe an 1/8 of an inch. I don't know where this axle came from, but everything is so rusted. It's ridiculous. And it's had no maintenance whatsoever. All this looks just absolute stock. This is looking more like a vehicle again. I finally got all my parts, got everything installed. Everything's good and tight. So I'm going to set this down, torque it, take it for a drive, and make sure it sounds right. So the first thing I notice is, even though it's loud, there's other issues. I've not got the slack in there, so that's great. That is really, really great. I've got a curve up here I'm about to go on, and it always, I think what would happen is the U-joints would line up, and then they would start shaking big time. I'm at 5th. And one of the curves, a little bit of vibration, that's from the tires, from all the wear that they were seeing. Kind of see my hand. Should have done this before this, because this little bit of vibration is nothing. I think I just need to rotate the tires to get that fixed. Alright, here's the curve that always did it. Oh yeah, I would have already done it by now. Yeah, problem was fixed. I love it when a plan comes together. So I've still got my drive shaft U-joints. Front and rear probably both need to be replaced, but rear's really bad. Still gotta do them. Still gotta do, you know, spring shocks, all that. But it's getting better. One thing at a time. I need this out of my garage because I'm leaving tonight for something very big. You'll see in a following video. I don't want to spoil it, but I am crazy excited. By the way, turn signals. Yeah.
Go watch that video. All right. Well, that'll be it for this one. I'm going to head back to the house and get this put up and start packing for leaving town tonight. Got about a 9-hour trip ahead of me. And with any luck, it will be even longer getting back. You'll see why. Y'all have a good one.